Hey friend, it's Amy. I'm in the studio. It still needs a lot of attention and love, but I really wanted to make this video for you because I have been working with the Hobonichi planner as a memory planner, and there are some things that are working for me, some things that aren't, and I just wanted to have this video sort of be a process video to show you all the things I'm loving. This little pink printer, some things I'm not loving. So give this video a thumbs up and leave any questions or comments below. I love taking this with me wherever I go, and I've stuck a few things in here from the New York trip. You can see that I finished March 1st, but then on March 2nd, I was traveling and I was able to get that done in the Odeon. If you watched my previous video with the New York vlog, then you'll see that I got a lot of this done while I was away. However, because the trip was pretty full on in the best way, I wanted to go ahead and take all this memorabilia and ephemera and things that I collected and come back into the studio to make sense of it. This is a postcard from the hotel that I stayed in called The Smith, and I ate breakfast and one dinner, so 3 breakfasts and 1 dinner at Smith Tavern. So I'm taking this postcard and cutting it up with these Fiskars scissors, and because it's a little bit thick, I do want to make sure I remove part of it. The way I do that is I peel off the back from the little corner and I make sure that a lot of the thickness is taken off because I don't want too much bulk in this Hobonichi. As you know, if you have worked with one of these before, the paper is really nice and thin, but your book does bulk up. So I'm going to take this Tombow Mono glue stick. And the reason I'm using a glue stick, and I have a scrap piece of paper this time, is because I don't want the tape runner to take more of the postcard off. So sometimes I enjoy using a tape runner, and other times this glue stick works really well. It's a little bit larger than the other Avery glue stick that I tend to use. Quality-wise, they're both excellent. From the magazines that were in the hotel room, I went ahead and cut out a bunch of things. What I tend to do when I am going through magazines, I first like to tear everything out and then I cut it. I'm grabbing Paper Play, which I am so grateful to all of you who have grabbed your copy. It is listed below along with a bunch of other links. I tore this page out, a few pages out, because I want to tear it and apply some of it to both of these pages here. That looks pretty good, actually. What's nice is that you can adjust your clippings and your torn out pages to whatever works for you. Now with this strip, I didn't want to cut it, so I'm grabbing my scrap piece of paper and the glue stick once again, and I'll apply the glue across the whole back of this strip. And then when I paste it down, see that piece that's hanging over the edge right there? I'm simply going to fold it over the best I can onto the other side. Okay, that looks great. All right, now I'm going to take another sheet and just rip what I need from the book, which is this half, or this piece, I should say. Okay, and I'm leaving the rest in there. Now, this piece, the reason I took it out is because I really like that dotted area, and I also like that patch of aqua paint. So, looking at where it's going to tear, I decided to leave the dotted. You can change your mind. The beauty of collaging or using different materials to get your ideas down and have a way of creatively expressing yourself is that there are no rules. You can go with your intuition, you can go with how you feel, you can mess up, it's okay. You can use these papers to even cover up mistakes. See that little dot section? I wanted to use it on this side, and then add the glow time right on top. Find what works for your creative flow. Something I love doing is adding stamping. So I'm going to take this old stamp that I've had for a long time. It says, "As amazing as expected," with a little checkbox, and I'm putting it down here. I actually chose that spot because I know that something else is already on the back of it, so it won't show the bleed through. In order to make sure my stamping is even, I stuck a thin book under that page, and I'm going to take this JFK stamp and ink it up with black ink so that it gets a nice bit of coverage. And then I'm going to go ahead, it's already mounted on an acrylic block. I'm going to go ahead and decide where I want it here and push down. And the impression turns out beautifully, even though it's on a couple different layers. One of the things I love about going through my stash and making discoveries is that this skyline stamp was from ages ago, and it's perfect for right here on this torn piece of paper play. And how cute is this little hot dog stamp? Do you also do a little happy dance when you find things that you may have kept for a while that you've been saving, and finally you have the perfect opportunity to use it? This house stamp bleeds through, which is something that bothers me about this Tomoe River paper. I don't know, maybe it's called something else now, but because I'm able to still find joy in stamping, I just simply adjust my attitude and perspective on it. And that's kind of why I love doing this collaging too, is because I can go ahead and cover up whatever bothers me, in this case, the bleed through. Now I'm taking this Fiskars punch, also from my stash. Punches are great to use with paper play. So you'll find different things. That was actually the sample, which said "not for sale" on the back cover. I don't know if you caught that, but this will go right here, and maybe I can use the heart as well. Or not. Now I'm going to glue this down so that I can commit that piece. And I'm jumping around here a little bit because that's just how I do things. And so this ampersand is getting stamped right here. This was from an early collection of mine with American Crafts. Now, one last stamping thing, and then I'm going to show you how I print my photos, because that is something I get asked about a lot. Here it is. Right now, this is my favorite printer to use in conjunction with the Hobonichi. This is the Canon Ivy. Ironically, I got that little travel case after I came back from New York. I've linked as much as I could in the description box below, because you're going to probably want this exact printer. It's the Canon Ivy 2, but I don't want you to get the wrong thing, so I just want to make sure. So what I do is I turn it on by holding that power button, and it starts blinking, and I've got my phone here, and it usually just picks up right away, so it says mini print, and I want to hit allow. Let me turn up the brightness. The app is so easy to use, and what I really like about it is that you can collage very easily. So you're maximizing the space of the 2x3 sticker print, and you can put 2 photos on it, you can put 6 photos on it. There are so many ways to make sure that you're getting the right size photo, especially for a smaller format if you're using this for your planner. And the reason it's my favorite right now for the Hobonichi is because they are sticker prints. So I'm going to go ahead and choose the photos that I want to print to, like I said, on this single print, and then I can adjust it accordingly. I can zoom, I can rotate it, I can figure out if I want to make it bigger. These look pretty good as is, although maybe this one needs to be a little bit swapped. Well, yeah, so I'm swapping them, and then that one looks pretty good. So when you decide that you're ready, you can just hit that little printer button up on the right, And I'm going to let this run in real time so that you can see how long it takes. But everything is on the app. It's very intuitive to use. You can see the blinking light, and you can also on your phone see the progress, which is such a beautiful thing. I would estimate that it takes about a minute for this to actually be done. You can see the light changing colors, which is indicative of the fact that it's actually maybe putting the color onto the print. I don't know the technicalities of it, but all I know is that I love the results. So I'm going to turn it here. You can see the visual on the screen as well as the visual that's actually happening in front of you, which is the print coming out of the printer. And you can see that the quality is really high. That didn't take long at all. And I love how you just know it's done and then you can pull it out. There you go. The color match is really, really close. It's closer than previous printers that I've shown you. And that's why I love this Canon IV2. And I love the fact that it is pink and puts out these cute photos. I was printing photos on the plane. Since these are going on separate days, I'm taking my Fiskars scissors and cutting them. Now I'm going to show you how I do 6 photos. Same way, it's really easy. I love how cute these little squares turn out, and you can adjust it, but what I found is that this format wasn't really working for me. I don't really need the same picture of Juniper with her fingers in her nose. I don't need the same picture, basically. So instead, I changed my mind after looking at how these photos were looking as squares. And then I decided, even though it looks pretty good, it wasn't going to be what I wanted for the planner. I'm going to go back and choose 4 instead of 6, and then choose the 4 that I want because I know that the vertical format is going to look really nice, and I know how the day flowed. I want to cut them all apart anyway. So here I have the choice, and you can see that I've already chosen 2 out of 4, and the way you choose it is going to be the order that it appears in. So I hope that makes sense. Those are the ones that I've chosen. I can go ahead and zoom in a little bit on that one. That one looks pretty good. Maybe I want to zoom in a little bit. It's really easy to adjust too, as you can see. Now this one, yeah, those look pretty good. And when I'm ready, I just hit that print button at the top right. This is a printer I always carry with me now that I have it, and I also ordered extra paper because I don't like to run out of things, so I have that stockpiled as well, and I think I have 5 packs left. What's nice about these prints too is that you can carry this printer around with you and share the love for photos that turn into stickers right wherever you are. People love having the tangible photo in their hands. Sure, it's great on your phone, but I really believe that we need to keep these tangible, tactile memories, not only just for ourselves, but because we can tell so many different stories in this type of memory keeping planner, scrapbook, however you are doing it. I went ahead and stuck that picture of Poppy and Jack and Junie in the corner there. And now I'm taking this sheet from Paper Play, ripping it in half. And I realized that I probably should have done this part first before I stuck down the photo, but that's already been done, so I'm working around it. That looks about good. I'm actually going to line it up with the bottom here and then tear off this little bit because I don't want to cover up that rainbow in Rainbow Acres. Once I have the positioning that I desire, then I'm going to grab, once again, the glue stick and make sure it's glued down. I love the back of this page too. That's the thing. You have to make choices, and sometimes your creative choices are better made than just put off. I hope that makes sense. So what I'm trying to say is use the supplies that you want. Trust your intuition, trust your instinct. You can always buy another set, whether they be stickers or papers. On the left side here, I really like that butterfly, but I'm going to turn it sideways to cover up that writing underneath because I was just taking notes for something and I just want to cover that whole thing up. So I have the glue on there and I'm not worried about that little piece off to the right because I'll cover it with something else. Guess what that something else is? If you guessed the photo that I just printed, you're right. It can go right over the top. So you just peel off the backing, very easy, and then you can just line it up. I like my photos to be straight, most of the time, I should say. Skipping around one last time, I'm taking this 921 Tombow dual brush pen and I am writing something as a header because I want it to go along with the photos from the Clippers game. I love the whole process of documenting life and memories in a meaningful and creative way. Hopefully you've gained some inspiration and insight to applying some of these ideas into your own journaling, scrapbooking, or memory planning. This sticker of Junie sleeping in is going to go right there, and then I finished all the rest of the details off camera, included some of the wristbands that we got from the Clippers game and some more stamping. Here are the first 10 days of March as a little flip through for you. Preserving our memories and moments on paper is such a special way to keep them alive. It's almost like a time capsule that we can open whenever we want. It's something that we can also share with others. Journaling, memory keeping, and collaging moments on paper are powerful tools that can help us pause and reflect, appreciate the past, and connect with not only our loved ones, but also ourselves. It's a way to have a beautiful creative outlet and allows us to express ourselves and be artsy. And what a special way to keep our memories alive. Not every page is going to be a masterpiece, but the whole is greater than the sum of its parts. It's all about exploration and discovery. Remember that this is your journey. Use the supplies that you love. Hope you enjoyed seeing the process, and let me know what resonated with you. And if you have any favorite supplies or techniques that you think I need to implement, please share. As always, thanks so much for watching. I hope you feel inspired to get those creative juices flowing. And how about this adorable mini printer? Am I right?